Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Visions. Cedric Varner, thanks for watching as always. Excited about our guest in the studio with us, Mr. William Frazier, the owner of Clean Slate Credit. Mr. Frazier, thanks for being here with us on the program.
No problem. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good, good. You're doing a great service and offering a great business for our community. Clean Slate Credit. I believe it's Clean Slate Credit LLC.
That's correct.
That's the actual official business name. And so we are off to a new year. And one of the things you were saying is that it's a new year and time for a
new score.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about your company and what it is and the services that you provide for our viewers.
Well, my company is very simple. We have a vision to help people improve their credit and their financial literacy, and we want to do that for every person in America, not just here in Montgomery. But basically what we do, we help people improve their credit scores. We teach them a little bit about credit and how to use it properly, because a lot of people, they don't have a good knowledge of how to properly use credit. And we also try and help them with some other financial aspects just to make sure that they have the complete picture as far as their finances and they're able to succeed in life financially.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, you know, financial intelligence and financial education is very important, and we've learned about financial intelligence from the great author Robert Kiyosaki tells us about that. And we know that people have the American dream; they have a vision for it, but it takes certain things to have in place in order to see that happen.
Right, that's correct. You have to, you can have the dream, but you have to have the plan to achieve that dream.
Knowledge.
And that's right, the knowledge. And that's what we try and help customers achieve.
Okay, all right, good. Well, with that, you sent us some points that you wanted to cover today, and you titled this 5 Tips to Keep Your Credit Train on Track.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, all right. So number 1 point, you said, know your credit like you know the lyrics to your favorite song.
That is correct. If you can know the lyrics to your favorite song word for word, you should know the information in your credit report just the same. And the reason for that, in 2004, the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, they released some information stating that 79% of credit reports have errors in them. Mm-hmm. And 25% of those errors can cause a denial of credit. So that means if you have a transmission that goes out on your car, you need $2,000 to go get it replaced, you don't have any money in your savings account, you're going to have to go try and get a loan. But because you didn't know what was in your credit report, you can be that person that gets declined. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's important to know what's in your credit report. And the way that you do that is with credit monitoring. You should, it's a bunch of different companies out there, but you should invest in some type of credit monitoring that can show you all 3 of your credit reports. That way you can keep up with them on a monthly basis and get to know the ins and outs of your credit report and know what's in it, so that you won't be that person that gets declined when you have a need.
Good, good. Well, you know, as you're talking about credit and understanding and this financial intelligence, we want to note that, you know, you're really a specialist in this because you are a certified credit counselor. Tell us about your certification in that.
Oh yes, I studied to be certified as far as credit counseling, and it gave me a good knowledge as far as being able to counsel people through the problems that they have as far as their financial issues. And it really taught me a little bit extra about the ins and outs of credit besides what I've learned from working on my personal credit over the years. But it really gave me a knowledge base that was able to help me give some key information that some people might not have known, and I learned some things that I didn't even know about credit during that process.
And so you actually have to go through this process of certification, and you have that posted on your website, just, you know, all that and all that entails.
Right, right. It's not actually necessary, but I decided to go the extra mile because I wanted to be able to give my clients the extra information that they might not be able to get from other companies that do the same thing. I just wanted to make sure that I could help my customers in every aspect with every piece of information possible.
And so tell us a little bit more about your background and what are the things that brought you to this particular place in being a business owner?
Well, before doing this full time, I was working for one of the largest banks in America. And I worked there for more than 2 years, and basically for me being there, I would see a lot of people come in to try and get approved for things when they're in those situations that they, you know, it's kind of a sticky situation. They have an emergency, they need to get something, money for something, whether it's a car, a home, or just a loan to fix the roof. and a lot of those people would get declined. And because of where I worked, there was a limited amount of information I could share with them, a limited amount of things I could do to help them. So it really led me to look into some things that I can do to be able to help people in a better way, be able to give them more information and more help. And that's what led me to start the company, Clean Slate Credit. I just looked into it to see the details of it and how it will work, and got my certification, as we already discussed, and I was able to open the doors, and I've helped a lot of people be able to win in those situations where they get into a squeeze and they don't know what to do.
Okay, excellent. All right, and you told me that you also have a degree in business. Told me you're working on your master's now and moving forward.
That's right. I came out here in 2007, got my bachelor's in business management from Alabama State University. I'm working on MBA in finance right now at Brunel University, and I should be done with that in about a year. So those things have helped me as far as the business aspect, learning how to keep things grounded with the business, keep the business growing, keep the business moving, and give me a better idea on what to do to better help my customers as well.
And you also told us an interesting story about you coming here from New Orleans.
That's right. That's right. Like I said, I came out here in 2007. The road for me getting here was kind of long, but basically, I went through a few colleges. That was how the story began. But at first, I wasn't going to go to college. I kind of had a tunnel vision, didn't really know what I wanted to do as far as college, but someone guided me along the way and got me into college. And once I started to be a mechanic originally. Wow. But of course, when we make plans, God kind of laughs at them. Yeah. But I went to school to be a mechanic, and after 3 days of being in school, Katrina happened. Yeah. So I got knocked out of that school, and I tried to go to another school right after that same semester. Another hurricane happened. Wow. And knocked that school underwater. So I got knocked out of mechanic school for the second time, so I figured it wasn't for me to do that.
Understand.
Right, and I ended up out here at Alabama State, and that's when I changed to business management, and I haven't had any problems since then, so I figure I'm on the right track.
That's right, that's right. Well, we're glad to have you, and we're glad we were able to take you in, as you were in transition. Now, right. As we go to our second point, one of the things that you mentioned, and that's that paying your bills won't improve your credit, but it can hurt. That's
correct. A lot of people think that paying their bills, rent, cable, light, cell phone bill, they think that paying those bills raises their credit score. But the truth is, it doesn't raise your credit score. Only paying on things like a mortgage, a loan, a credit card, those things help improve your score by actually adding points. The other things, rent, lights, cable, you need to pay them, because if you don't, it won't happen immediately, but after a few months of consecutive non-payment, when they cut you off, they'll put it on your credit report, or they'll give it to a collection company, and at that point it will hurt your score, but they won't help.
Understand. Okay. All right. You can pay a collection account, but it won't improve your score.
Right. And I can't advise anybody not, to pay a collection account, but it is to your best interest to know that if you pay them, it won't necessarily improve your score. As I already stated, 79% of credit reports contain errors, so when you pay that collection account, it's possible that they may report that you paid it, it's possible that they might not, and the error could remain on your credit report. But even if you do pay it and it goes down to zero, that collection account will still stay on your credit report for 7 years. So it will still hurt your score in some shape, form, or fashion. So it's important to know that you can pay them, but they still won't improve your score.
Understand. You said credit cards don't put people in debt. You said people put themselves in debt.
That is correct. A lot of people blame credit cards for their problems. They say that they put you in debt, they charge you a lot of money in interest, and some of them you can pay interest charges, and some people can go in debt with credit cards, but it's not because of the credit card. A credit card is like a tool. If you have a hammer and you're nailing something on the wall and you hit your hand with the hammer, is it the hammer's fault? Or is it your fault for not using your hand properly and using the hammer? So the thing is, you just need to know how to use a credit card properly. Things like in most cases with credit cards, if you pay them before 30 days, you might not have to pay any interest, so you won't have to worry about interest charges. And if you don't use it for the wrong purposes like shopping, excessive shopping, you won't put yourself into debt. But it's more information that I have on the proper way to use credit cards on my website. There's a place that you can sign up to get free emails from me. I teach people about different aspects of credit and also how to use credit cards. It's called Credit 101, and it's on my website, available for anybody to go and get for free.
Wow, wow, for free. I mean, you provide information for the people. And so your website, again, is it's on the screen. It's cleanslatecreditforyou.com. They can get all this information. They can also reach you by email through your website.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. Really good. This is fantastic. One of the other things that you listed for us is that 65% of your score comes from where?
65% of your score comes from two pieces. It's actually 5 parts that make up your score, but 2 of those pieces, the biggest 2, 30% of your score comes from the amount of your available credit you use. Now that comes from a credit card. If you have a $500 limit, how much of that $500 limit you're using is how your score is calculated. The less you use, the better. And with a loan, if your original loan was $5,000, how much of that loan do you owe? The less you owe on that loan, the more it improves your score. That's 30%. 35% comes from the payments that you make, on-time payments. So that loan or that credit card, as long as you're making those payments on time, it'll help boost up 35% of your score. And the payments within the last 2 years are the most, the ones that count. Anything past that counts less, but they look mostly at the last 2 years of payments that you've made. And that's where 65% of your score comes from, a big piece.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Frazier, it is clear that you are a credit specialist, and we are impressed and glad that you're here to educate us with this information in the new year. We want to encourage people to go to the website, Clean Slate Credit for You. Please give him a call. Mr. Frazier, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for having me
back. This is fantastic information starting us out in the new year. We're going to look to see you next time. And thanks for watching us on this segment of Visions. Cedric Varner.